Thank you.
Tens of millions of pounds expected to be made available to Greater Manchester to try and persuade local officials to accept the highest level of coronavirus restrictions.
The government spent the last few days in a standoff with the region's mayor, Andy Burnham, who fears that the measures will cause severe economic harm. Our deputy political editor, Vicky Young, has the latest.
No, Lou and Dan.
Look forward to it, Carol. Thank you very much. See you a bit later.
Thank you.
So schools in Northern Ireland are beginning an extended half-term break today. Children will have 2 weeks holiday instead of one.
That extension is part of the devolved government's measures to try to bring down the coronavirus infection rate, which is the highest of the UK's 4 nations. Our Ireland correspondent Chris Page has been speaking to students, teachers and some parents.
School last.
Well, that's the situation in Northern Ireland. Across the UK, millions of families would normally be enjoying a half-term break or planning a trip around this time of year.
Nina's actually at a holiday park in Cumbria to find out how the new restrictions are affecting bookings. What's the breakfast like there, Nina?
Yeah.
Prepare yourselves, got some goat news.
Look at them.
Yeah,
Love
amazing,
these goats.
don't they? Cast your mind back to full lockdown, and you may remember a herd of Kashmiri goats taking over the empty streets of Llandudno.
One of my favourite things, wasn't it?
It was great.
Images of the roaming animals gained worldwide attention. Now they're being used to fundraise for St David's Hospice in the town, as Mairead Smith reports.
These goats give.
Just after 6:30. So if we're struggling with our mental health, we're often encouraged to open up and talk about how we're feeling. Last Friday, Edmund O'Leary did just that on Twitter.
In a message to his followers, this is what .co.uk/actionline.
I'd love to know how many birthday messages he's going to receive. It's going to be
1 or 2, I think. Yeah.
hundreds of thousands, isn't it? Sally's here again. Morning.
Here's one more. Morning, Edmund, from all of us.
Good morning, it's Monday, it's the 19th of October. Top story for you today is that tens of millions of pounds is expected to be made available to Greater Manchester to try and persuade local officials to accept the highest level of coronavirus restrictions.
The government has spent the last few days in a standoff with the region's mayor, Andy Burnham, who fears that the measures will cause severe economic harm. Community Secretary Robert Jenrick will hold further discussions today. We'll speak to him at 7:30. Our deputy political editor, Vicky Young, has the latest.
Boris Johnson.
I tell you what I'm going to do, Sean Fielding. We're only hearing a couple of your words every now and then, so we're going to leave that for the moment. Hopefully come back to you. Our leader of Oldham Council, thank you, will be with you shortly.
Yeah, we'll be hoping to speak to Conservative MP from Greater Manchester as well, James Daly. And at 7:30 this morning, essentially quite a few of these local leaders are having various discussions with the government. And one of the men involved in that is the Community Secretary, Robert Jenrick. And he's going to be here at 7:30 this morning. So lots of questions to speak to him this morning. So
we
make sure you join us
understand this morning that he's actually leading those negotiations. So hopefully he'll have information for us as well.
In fact, as promised, we can now speak to James Daly, who's a Conservative MP for Bury North.
Council. Thank you for that. We'll be speaking to Robert Jenrick as well, Community Secretary, here at 7:30.
Yes, before that, though, endometriosis is a condition which affects 1 in 10 women in the UK. It can cause chronic pain, heavy periods and infertility, but there is no known cause or cure.
The average wait for a diagnosis has remained at 8 years for more than a decade, but today the results of a parliamentary inquiry will be published, calling for a commitment from government to reduce waiting times by half. Sarah Campbell's been hearing from some women about their experiences of endometriosis. Government Secretary, thank you for your time on breakfast. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 7:45. Let's find out what's happening with the weather. Carol's got it for us this morning. Carol, and for quite a few people out there today, it's going to be quite a mild start to the week, isn't it?
Absolutely. You're right, Dan. There are no flights.
Good morning, it's Monday, it's the 19th of October. Top story for you today. The Community Secretary, Robert Jenrick, has told this programme a conclusion needs to be reached today with leaders in Greater Manchester about moving into the highest level of coronavirus restrictions.
The government has spent the last few days in a standoff with the region's mayor, Andy Burnham, who fears that the measures will cause severe economic harm. Let's speak to our political correspondent, Ian Watson, who I know...
Dan and Lou, I'm off with some honey.
Oh, of tea. That would help.
Thank you.
Take
Nice
care.
brew. Nice brew puts everything right, isn't it? It's 8:10. Now, it's been a week since Boris Johnson announced new COVID alert levels would be introduced across England.
The new 3-tier systems. We're very glad to see you back as well. See you later.
That's nice, isn't it? Now, Saturday night, a bit of normality for us. Strictly Come Dancing returned on Saturday. I know millions of people watched the new series get underway.
Of course. Singer and YouTuber Harvey is one of those dusting off his dancing shoes this year. We'll speak to him and his new partner.
Jeanette Manrara.
Thank you. First, though, let's see the moment they found out they would be dancing together.